Donald Trump and his family just in the last couple of weeks have made $22 million when a Chinese cryptocurrency mogul investigated and charged by the Securities and Exchange Commission invested $30 million into Donald Trump's companies. It's just one of dozens of ways that foreign countries and investors and those that are at odds with the United States are going to make money for Donald Trump and his family, and they are not going to sign an ethics code, nor are they going to restrain themselves in the second go-around. I'm Michael Popok. You're on the MeidasTouch Network and Legal AF. Ostensibly, the Trump organization is under the control of Eric Trump. But we all know that's a facade. That's a ruse. And in the lead up, just in the weeks leading into the election, according to the New York Times and other reporting, Eric Trump signed deals to benefit the family, therefore Donald Trump, with Vietnam, Saudi Arabia, the United Arab Emirates, and they're looking at Israel and the other aspects of the Middle East. These are deals that are regulated by regulators that Donald Trump is going to be appointing. When you do foreign asset investment, for instance, you have to deal with the U.S. agency, the Office of Foreign Asset Control. We call it OFAC. OFAC is under the Treasury. The Treasury is under Donald Trump through his pick, Steve Bissett. There's two major ways that we're watching foreign governments try to influence American policy and put money in the pocket of Donald Trump and his family. One, through his cryptocurrency company, World Liberty Financial, a cryptocurrency platform that allows dark money investment from foreign countries like in the Middle East and other places to line the pockets of Donald Trump. We've already seen it. That's why I just reported at the top of this particular hot take on Justin Sun, S-U-N, a Chinese person who owns a cryptocurrency himself, who was charged by the Securities and Exchange Commission under Joe Biden with manipulating the price of cryptocurrency by buying and selling it. Now he made the very first investment in the World Liberty Financial thing that's headed by Eric and Don Jr. and even Barron Trump. Listen, even the president-elect Donald Trump is listed as one of the chief promoters, shillers of the cryptocurrency platform, even to this moment. So in the first administration, they had a lighter touch. They were worried about investments that seemed to maybe be at odds with the First Family or the President of the United States. Now it's gone. Let me start fundamentally. The President of the United States is not, by position, subject to the same criminal and civil ethics laws as the rest of us. They're not. Not while they're president, they're not. And so he doesn't have to solve for the equation of conflicts of interest related to doing business in countries that are adverse to us or that have business before us or that generate money for him. He doesn't have to solve for that. He doesn't have to put his money in blind trusts or his family. Presidents do. But not this one. This one's going to make money in broad daylight. Hundreds of millions of dollars before this presidency is over. I mean, he's already put $22 million in his pocket. They have a deal with their cryptocurrency platform that they get 70 cents on the dollar for any investment. Well, Mr. Sun just put in $30 million to buy his influence for the Trump family, $22 million over to Donald Trump and his siblings and his children. The other way for foreign dark money to corrupt our system and corrupt our president is through his social media platform, Truth Social, which also takes foreign investment. How convenient. And has just set itself up with a cryptocurrency platform. Now, most of what I'm going to tell you during this hot take involves regulators, yes, for the U.S., all now under the control of Donald Trump, who are going to benefit his business interests. Let's look at his pick for the Securities and Exchange Commission. The number one reason I'm sure he just picked this new guy to be the head of the Securities and Exchange Commission is because this guy is a favorite of the cryptocurrency world. He's the favorite of the cryptocurrency world. He believes that cryptocurrency has been overregulated by the government, by Gensler, the current SEC head, and he is going to change things. That led to a billions and billions and billions of dollar run-up in the market. Paul Atkins for the SEC, oh yes, he was originally on the Securities and Exchange Commission through George W. Bush. So people think, well, he's a moderate. He's a cryptocurrency maven. I mean, Eric Trump right now is off to the Middle East in order to appear in cryptocurrency conferences where they're saying this is the golden age of cryptocurrency. Everyone around Donald Trump, including Donald Trump, is heavily invested in making tons and gobs of money between now and the end of the election. Elon Musk, billions of dollars invested in cryptocurrency. The commerce nominee, Howard Lutnick, hundreds of millions of dollars invested in cryptocurrency. He runs a company along with Tether in the cryptocurrency business, right? The new SEC head is pro-cryptocurrency. The Trump organization has a cryptocurrency platform. Do you see where this is going? Is there any wonder that Bitcoin hit $100,000 yesterday and crossed that mark? By the time the Trump administration is over, it'll be $200,000. And it'll be mainly unregulated at the rate that we are going. Let's face it, after a night with drinks, I don't bounce back the next day like I used to. I have to make a choice. I can either have a great night or a great next day. That is until I found Z-Biotics Pre-Alcohol Probiotic Drink. Z-Biotics Pre-Alcohol Probiotic Drink is the world's first genetically engineered probiotic. It was invented by PhD scientists to tackle rough mornings after drinking. Here's how it works. When you drink, alcohol gets converted into a toxic byproduct in the gut. It's this byproduct, not dehydration, that's to blame for your rough next day. Pre-alcohol produces an enzyme to break this byproduct down. Just remember to make Z-Biotics your first drink of the night, drink responsibly, and you'll feel your best tomorrow. Now look, I won't lie. I was a bit on the fence about pre-alcohol initially. But then, while hanging out with my fantasy football draft crew over at our favorite Jersey Shore sports bar, I gave it a shot. And believe me, it's the real deal. I spent the entire next day doing all my favorite things with my family, including a long hike on our favorite trail. I kept hearing about pre-alcohol, and I wondered what it was actually like. But now that I've tried it, I believe the hype. And with their GMO technology, they will release different products that help address toxic byproducts of modern living in the gut. Go to zbiotics.com/legalaf to learn more and get 15% off your first order when you use LegalAF at checkout. Z-Biotics is backed with a 100% money-back guarantee. So if you're unsatisfied for any reason, they'll refund your money, no questions asked. Remember to head to zbiotics.com/legalaf and use the code LegalAF at checkout for 15% off. So when I hear about Eric Trump signing deals in Saudi Arabia, Vietnam, the United Arab Emirates, and he's looking at Israel and other places in the Middle East, you would think I'm talking about the war room and the map for the president about foreign policy. How can Donald Trump be trusted to make appropriate foreign policy decisions in the interest of the American people when he's so entangled by choice in these ethical and financial dilemmas of his own making to make money? His number one goal is not the American people. We said this in the lead up to the election. His number one goal is to make as much money for Trump Incorporated as possible. And if your interests stand in his way, they will be sacrificed. If the American people's interests stand in his way, Trump's way, or his family's way, they will be run over with a bulldozer. And that's it. You know, the Office of Foreign Asset, the Office of Foreign Asset Control, forget it. Under the Treasury Department, it will look the other way in everything that Donald Trump does. And notice he uses the currency of organized crime and drug dealers and others for off-book transactions, cryptocurrency. Is there any doubt about that? Is there any doubt that the people who signed deals with Eric Trump recently in Vietnam, Saudi Arabia, and United Arab Emirates, most of it being sovereign wealth funds, meaning it's direct investment by governments. So foreign governments are buying the president. I don't know how to say this any more directly. You think the founders and the framers and the founding fathers of the United States weren't concerned about foreign influence? They put in a section about foreign emoluments. Don't take anything from foreign governments. Donald Trump's taking everything from foreign governments under the ruse that it's his family business. Yes, I can't even believe I have to say this. There is a monitor, court-appointed monitor over the Trump organization, the very company I'm talking about, because they committed persistent fraud in the state of New York for over 10 years. And now they're going to use that as a vehicle to do business with our friends, allies, enemies, and frenemies and line their pockets as a result. And everybody around Donald Trump is in on it. He opened the door and he let the robber barons, we used to call them robber barons back in the late 1800s and early 1900s. You know, the J.P. Morgans and those that ran the railroad, you know, all those big fat cats with cigars and, you know, the model for the, for the guy on the Monopoly board. They're in the government. They finally have what they've always wanted. I've said this reminds me of the scene in Godfather 2 when they're sitting around in that hotel cutting up the cake and they're saying about Cuba, we finally have what we've always wanted in organized crime, a friendly relationship with a government who will protect us and our business interests. What do we have now? They have what they've always wanted. They're inside. They're inside. And these deals are now going to accelerate. Now that the reporting is they don't see any ethical dilemma to doing business with our adversaries, our allies, and even our enemies. Look, China is investing in Donald Trump. China, let me convert that into English. China is buying Donald Trump. China is buying Donald Trump. Saudi Arabia is buying Donald Trump. You know how many business deals Donald Trump has done with the Dar al-Arqar construction company and development company? That's their go-to. Right out of Saudi Arabia. That's owned by MBS, by the Saudi prince. They don't care about the fact that Khashoggi was chopped up into little pieces, a reporter for the Washington Post by these same people. They don't care about that. If they cared about it, they wouldn't put live golf at all Trump properties. It's all about the Benjamins, the money. And the lack of regulation in this area is outstanding. Donald Trump's gotten what he's always wanted. He doesn't want to pay taxes, so he's going to defund the Internal Revenue Service. He doesn't want anybody doing any oversight over his foreign investments, so he's going to defund or castrate the Office of Foreign Asset Control. He wants unlimited money being generated without regulation through cryptocurrency. So he puts the head of the SEC, a pro-cryptocurrency guy, and surrounds himself with other cryptocurrency people. The guy that he just appointed, Steve Witkoff, to be the Middle East envoy to try to solve whatever's going on in the Middle East, is a real estate developer, golfing buddy of his that got him into the cryptocurrency world to begin with and helped put $22 million in his pocket. That's what he gets as a reward. He gets to be a Middle East envoy. Yeah. So this is not a report about shock and awe. This is a report about we know what's going on. And what are we going to do about it as an American people? First, we got to talk about it. First, we got to put a spotlight, a Klieg light on it. Right? And then we got to file lawsuit after lawsuit after lawsuit to challenge and the violation of the emoluments clause in the Constitution, this grift, the selling of the presidency, the buying of the presidency by our foreign powers who are investing in him through Truth Social and through his cryptocurrency platform and through the real estate development. You think anybody in these businesses would do business with Donald Trump if he and his family weren't in the presidency? No way. But they're going to make, I think the estimate last time was $500 million was made by the Trump family during and after the administration. Double that now. Double it, triple it. With cryptocurrency. We'll continue to follow it all closely with a magnifying glass, right? With a microscope here on the Legal AF and the MeidasTouch Network. Follow me, Michael Popok. Every Tuesday night I do Popok Live. It's not a rant, although sometimes it's unhinged. It's unfiltered. 8 p.m. Eastern time on this MeidasTouch YouTube channel. Wednesday and Saturday, Legal AF, the podcast, and a new Legal AF YouTube channel to boot. At Legal AF MTN. We do it in collaboration with the MeidasTouch Network. And we are building this pro-democracy community with you, only for you and about you. Until my next reporting, I'm Michael Popok. In collaboration with the MeidasTouch Network, we just launched the Legal AF YouTube channel. Help us build this pro-democracy channel where I'll be curating the top stories at the intersection of law and politics. Go to YouTube now and free subscribe at Legal AF MTN. That's at Legal AF MTN.